All right, welcome to another cloudless day in New Mexico. Today's photography adventure, we're going to be checking out some really old houses. Now, maybe that doesn't sound cool until you realize that's them up there. So we're at the Gila cliff dwellings, and these are where a bunch of Native Americans lived about 700 years ago. And this is one of the few places where you can actually go into the cliff dwellings and walk around. So there's actually kind of a lot of people here right now, but this is one of the least visited parks because it's so remote. The nearest town to this park is 2 hours away. So it takes a while to get here, but today's Easter weekend, so there are a few people, but still not enough compared to national parks that you're used to. So we're gonna go check out those cliff dwellings up there and get some time lapses and some gorgeous B-roll footage. It's just starting to bloom, early April, and all the greenery is finally starting to show. So let's go check out and keep hiking. Here's a better view behind me, getting a little higher. It's only like a 200 foot elevation gain, and the whole trail for the cliff dwellings all the way around is only like a mile, so it's not that strenuous. If you're ever in southwest New Mexico, I highly recommend it. It's not too difficult. I mean, it is kind of steep though in the first part. A lot of stairs and stuff like that. There's no handicap accessible, so just hiking. But it's a great hike. There's tons of wildlife out here. I just ran into a pretty massive lizard, so I was gonna bring my 400 for stuff like that, but you don't need it out here. I have the 24 to 105, my macro 100, my 16 to 35, and I was actually able to film the lizard pretty well with the 16 to 35, so check that out. Almost to the top now. That's the main dwellings right back there. Just want to talk about some photo stuff real quick. If you probably could notice, it's a little bright outside. It's not the best lighting conditions for this stuff, so I'm not really going to focus on the outside. I come here a lot, so I've got a lot of photos of the outside, but what I am going to look for is getting some interesting photos on the inside, and I'm gonna wait till I get in there to do some photo stuff, and I'll probably be doing a lot of HDR stuff so that you can see the outside. So I'll be blending the inside exposures with the outside exposures. So let's keep hiking. We're almost there, and see what it looks like on the inside. Just ran into a massive ground squirrel back here. He was back in this stuff right there. I got him though. I'll put him up. Kind of cool to see the wildlife in here, but at the same time, it kind of sucks because, like they say, there's a lot of squirrels and pack rats and stuff in here, and they eat. They burrow through. Like, this is all real soft, like rhyolite, and they can burrow through. And like they tell you, if you come here, don't bring any food or any drinks, or they tell you not even to chew gum because the pack rats and the squirrels can smell it, and they'll start infiltrating even more. So it's kind of a vermin problem. I imagine they dealt with the same thing when they were actually living here 700 years ago, seeing as how they kept all their food in big pots and stuff. All right, well, we didn't get to we got kind of kicked out of the cliff dwellings since they closed at 5, and it was like almost 5. So I think that's a gold eagle. There's a golden eagle over there. Anyways, back to the vlog. We came down here to the Gila River and just kind of hanging out. I'm gonna see if I can get a few shots though, except for Brittany took my polarizer and my ND filter.
Oh, anything back?
No, it's okay. I got more in my bag. And that was a really big fish that just jumped up over there. So yeah, we're gonna try to see what we can get. I'll be having a circular polarizer and either a 3 or 6 stop neutral density filter on. Try to cut down the glare on this water. There's still, sky-wise, it's still horrible. No clouds, but let's see what we can do with these cool cliffs back here. And I don't know where my son went. He's probably in the water somewhere. All right, I'm in search of a better shot, so I had to get in the water. It's all good though, because my boots were covered in salt from the ocean from a while ago, so they needed a good clean. And this water is surprisingly warm. But I think I found a couple of cool compositions over here. I'm going to be shooting that way, so I'm bust out the filters, and we'll start with a 3-stop, or we'll start with a 4-stop and circular polarizer. And I'm going to try to capture the water there where it's real nice and blue, and those big cliffs. So let's see what that looks like. All right, so I found a composition that I like. It's kind of in the middle of the river, but you can do what you got to do. It feels really nice. So this is a slightly precarious tripod setup there. I wouldn't really recommend it. I had my video head on there because I was filming earlier, so I didn't feel like taking it off out here and holding on to it. So I'm basically just holding on to my tripod, making sure it doesn't fall in. That has happened before. So settings wise, I've got a circular polarizer, 3-stop ND, maybe 4-stop, and f/22 at about almost like a second and a half, almost 2 seconds. So that's it's getting the water and those cliffs back there. So hopefully there's some cool leading lines and smooth water, and definitely lots of color. No clouds though. Of course, most of my vlogs in New Mexico these days have been cloudless, but it's not all about clouds and weather. There's other stuff to photograph, and I'll find it. Okay, so I found the last composition of the day here. Again, I found a nice straight area of the river, and I'm going to use the river banks there to as leading lines into the beautiful cliff face there. And I'm at f/22, 1/6 of a second, ISO 100. I've got the circular polarizer and a 3-stop ND filter on, so we'll see what that looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and call this an episode because I got about 2 hours of driving to get home. So I'm gonna roll the B-roll footage of the cliff dwellings that I haven't already posted, and the rest of this stuff, and the rest of the pictures. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any questions about camera gear or places or anything like that. So until next time, enjoy the beautiful Gila forest. I'll see you later.